night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the San Francisco 49ers. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
He's got a man complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Up the middle they go. Sutton. He's got it to the 43 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run the counter. It's Sutton, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
13 yards, first down, Panthers. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Switching it up, Corral will throw here. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what the opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice it wasn't. Touchdown, Panthers! Dawson Knox, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And it's now a 7-0 game. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. come out throwing here on first down. And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Come back team, come back team. 19 Titans, 19 Titans.
2nd and 5. This is intercepted. Brandon Smith picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Corral looking to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
2nd down and goal. Corral. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Here's Corral. Over to Landry on the bubble screen. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Garabay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there is squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
Jonathan Garibay,
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Hey, smash! Check smash! Check smash!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Off play action. Here's Corral. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And that makes our score 17-0.
49ers nothing.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. 19 White. 18 Pioneer. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Warrior 70.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
Back to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Panther 11, Panther 3, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Buffalo 18.
They'll look to throw again. This one caught by Kittle. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Ready, go. Back to 60.
Now back to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Here we go, here we go. Ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
To throw again on second down. Corral. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. First and 10 at the 14. Off the play fake. Here's Corral. To the right side, and he's got Landry. Complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run.
And it's intercepted. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Let's go now.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Alert! Alert!
First down, here's Mitchell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
18 rattle, 18 rattle. Seventy Ranger.
They'll set up a throw. And this pass caught by Gray. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Gray and finding him once again. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Back to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 60 Wildcat, 60 Wildcat. Warriors 70. Go quick. Seven Pirates.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick here is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he'll be brought down and looks like right at the 15. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough 3rd down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on 2nd down.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Corral. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's got some space here. .153 remaining in this first half of play. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And Corral will throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Sutton, and he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. And this is going to be intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. Their tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Okay, ready?
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
60. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Ready?
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He finds his man complete. It's Harrison. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Buffalo 18.
They'll look to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Garibay on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points.
Makes the score Panthers 24, 49ers 3. Jonathan Garibay to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Once again, it's Mitchell. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mustang 19. Read alert, read alert.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Come 19, come 19. Riggs, Riggs. Have the streak, have the streak.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Corral. They'll let this go for the end zone. He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in. Already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the 2nd half. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
49ers 3. Jonathan
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Second and 4. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Cougar 19. Trap 60, trap 60.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 2nd down, it's Sutton, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
3rd and long, Corral. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, the things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
Back to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Corral with it on first down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A first down throw here for Corral.
And he'll go right back to Landry. It's complete again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They'll run on first down. Sutton. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3.
Corral.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year.
And the Panthers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
49ers 3. Jonathan Garibay will kick off.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
19 right. Ready.
They're going to look to throw. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Eagles, 60 Eagles. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his big tight end here.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, you're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
And now here is another interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Panthers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that. He's got a man complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Great start to the second quarter, better than 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Now Corral.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
And the Niners force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards, first down Niners.
But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
60 Maverick.
They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Back to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mitchell. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And my goodness, another interception. Brandon Smith picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 33. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard. They see what they can accomplish.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 71 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Right back to him on first down. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. On third down, Corral going deep here for Landry. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
2nd and 6. And now here is another interception. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They run the counter. It's Sutton. Room here to run. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Carolina, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll